everybody. My name's Jason Hernandez. I was sentenced to life without parole, plus about 300 years for a first-time nonviolent drug offense. I look at a lot of people in here, and I see your faces, and I hear your names. And even though I never met y'all, I would read articles about y'all, see y'all in books, and I feel like your family because y'all were there for us when nobody else was. And I just want to thank y'all so much for that. If I could do anything just to repay y'all, I mean, I feel like I'm doing that right now, and I know I could do more, and I will do more. But you know, my story is kind of like any other kid, minority kid growing up in a low-income society. You know, my brother was a break dancer. I wanted to break dance. He was a boxer. I was a boxer. He was a skateboarder. I was a skateboarder. He ended up selling drugs. I ended up selling drugs, and I don't blame him for that. It was my fault. My brother went to prison. We went to prison. He went to prison. I went to prison with him together. He got murdered in prison. But then that's when I said that, you know, I'm not going to get murdered in prison. And that's what changed my whole life, that I wouldn't be here today had it not been for my brother. And that's sad that it took my brother for me to awaken. But on that day, it just instilled a fire in me that I was going to do everything possible to better my life mentally, physically, mentally, spiritually, and live like I was going home tomorrow, because I believed that I would if I just lived my life right. But not only for myself, but I wanted to help so many people out in there, because there were so many people, minorities, serving life without parole sentences, and it seemed normal to me. But it wasn't until I educated myself, read Michelle Alexander's book, The New Jim Crow, that awakened me, and that it wasn't normal for me to think that I was supposed to be a drug dealer, that I was supposed to go to prison, that I was supposed to be in a gang. But I just want to thank, you know, Michelle Alexander. She had so much to do with everybody, this whole movement, basically. And she does, I mean, she gets a lot of credit, but she should get more. But I started an organization in there called Crack Open the Door, dedicated to first-time nonviolent crack cocaine offenders serving life without parole. And because I know President Obama, he went to a prison, the first to ever do one, and he said he could be any one of them inmates had he not lived in a more forgiving society. And there's no doubt that he's right, because in them prisons, there's some of the most greatest minds, individuals that you will ever meet, that without a doubt, had they just lived in a more forgiving society, that they could have been legal aids to the president, attorneys, and even the president himself. And believe me when I tell you that. And since I've been released, I worked for a full year at a nonprofit restaurant where we hired nothing but formerly incarcerated kids that I mentor and help cook. I still help individuals in prison, file petitions for individuals serving life without parole. And you know, I go around school speaking, juvenile speaking, but I realized that no matter what I do in my life, no matter what accomplishments that I make, and it was something that I knew that hit me instantly upon my release, that I'm always going to be an ex-felon to the day that I die. It doesn't matter what happens, what I do, but that's okay, because that instills that fire in me to make every day, to make sure that kids don't have to go through what I went through, to go to prison for life without parole, to learn right from wrong, that they don't have to go to prison and be murdered like my brother was, and to prevent mothers having to go through what my mother had to go through, kids having to be raised without their fathers. So, you know, I know the president gets a lot of slack for people saying that he's not doing enough, but I wouldn't be here today. There's no doubt in my mind that me and a lot of these individuals would have died in prison had it not been for him. He didn't create this war on drugs, and it shouldn't be completely on him to end this war on drugs. We all got to help, that includes me and everybody that's been released by him. And
right.
That's my mission in life.
All right, Jason Hernandez.